that I will say something or something will occur in a conversation that will spark a question. You're like, oh, I want to ask him. And truthfully, during that Facebook read or feed, it's often hard for me to pull out the question in the time. So I always encourage you, if you do have one, send it to me, eric@ericgreid.com. Send it to me in a direct message. I'll get it to you. Well, happy Wednesday morning, Matthew. I know it's your November project day, your favorite morning of the week. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good to have you here in the house. I almost felt like I should have emailed you the questions ahead of time, but they're up there in the feed that we're going to go over. Good morning, Donna. Good to see you. So today's Q&A Wednesday. Yesterday was newsletter. If you didn't sign up, don't worry. The subscribe button's up above. And for those that miss it, it goes out twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday, but you only get it once if you open it. And then Friday is Fun Friend Friday. So we have a busy week ahead. And then booking out for future Fun Friend Fridays. So if you know somebody that's an inspiration, somebody that's really impacted your life, somebody that you're like, man, I love this guy's story or this gal's story, send it to me and help me. Man, Coop's my favorite. I always love troublemakers, riot starters. Send it to me and help me with the introduction so that we can share their story with others. All right, so if you're ready for Q&A Wednesday, I got my cues. You know, these are, I honestly got to tell you, I love the questions, but I always feel like it's putting me to the challenge. Like I'm on trivia team at the local pub and you're counting on me at a higher degree. So without further ado, and everybody give a good morning. Good morning, Nellie. I missed you. Good morning, Tish. I miss you as well. Didn't see you scroll in. So take a minute and say good morning. First question was, and I sometimes condense it, and just so you know, if it's your question and you like, oh, that was my question, I sometimes try and condense it and merge it into a more generic sense, just because I think it's more useful. How do I make good decisions? And this question was really around, I feel like I need a system on making good decisions. Sometimes my emotions get away, or sometimes I can't see it. And so for me, it's based on priority, purpose, and my perception. So the prioritize. I always try and prioritize the decisions. And then I also try and prioritize people or impact. And so what I mean by that is, what decision, like if I've got to make a left or a right decision, which one will impact more people at a higher level longer? And that will take priority over what will I gain. So as a leader, when you're making those decisions, you have to put people first. You have to put the impact on others first, whether that others is the circle of your family or your team or your company or your community or, you know, the greater world, so to speak. And so I sort of do it in that, as you can see, that ripple effect out. Like if I make this decision, who will be impacted? How will they be impacted? So I put others in the front seat and prioritize it out from there. And then how will this impact my family? Because my family is my priority, because that's what I've been given direct responsibility and charging over. How will they are my priority, okay? This will be a positive. How will it help my community or my team or my clients or my company, and then out and out and out. So often when we're trying to make a decision, we'll say, well, what is it going to do for me? How am I going to feel? Blah, blah. And we get in the I. The priority is other people. The second piece is really understanding the purpose. Like, how does this fit into my bigger purpose? Like, is this part of my purpose, or is this just another distraction, another opportunity, another thing that's come on to my radar that I'm like, oh, I could do this too, and I could do that too. And does this affect my purpose, and does this lift other people up at the same time? Does this really serve my purpose? And that would be my mission statement, my vision statement, my goal, both short and long term. Just because I have the opportunity to make a decision doesn't mean I need to make a decision on that, because it may not be related to me. It may be like, you know what, that's got to go to the desk to the right or to the left, or that's not an option I have. Remember the other day when we talked about as you go up, you would think that your rights and options increase, but it's the pyramid. They actually diminish because you have more people to care about, more people to service, more people that are going to be impacted by you. And so I don't always get the right to make a decision. And then the third thing that I always try and do is remember the bigger picture. Like in a year from now, in 3 years from now, how is this decision going to affect me? And an easy way to think of that is often when you're making a major purchase and you have to put it on credit or time, it's like, as much as I want this, do I really want to forfeit an opportunity that may require this same money 6 months from now? Because if I tie this money up in this thing, I've frozen it, not only like now, but maybe for the next 6 or 8 months as I have to pay down that debt. How is this going to impact my freedom and my opportunities long term because I bought into this short term idea? So look at the bigger picture. Second question was guilt over saying no. Shoot, I'm a parent. I ain't got no guilt over saying no. I actually find joy in saying no. No, kidding. The easy part is remember you're rejecting or saying no to the request, not to the person. And so it's sort of that cliched one of, I'd love to help you. However, no, I can't do that for you. Remember that the guilt is a habit. You choose to be guilty. You choose to say, I'm going to be guilty about this. Instead, I'm sorry, I'm saying no to the request. I still honor and respect you as a person, but I also honor and respect me or the other commitments that I've made that will require me to be there present. So therefore, I can't be in two places at one time. Most of the time, we give up ourselves and give up our time and taking care of ourselves and taking care of our needs in order to say yes to somebody else. And what it is isn't really guilt. It's sort of like sadness that we're walking away from ourselves and our responsibilities to ourselves and to our families and to healing and caring for ourselves. So whenever I say no, I recognize, and I'll include it in the sentences, thank you for the opportunity to volunteer for your organization. I'm going to have to say no to that opportunity, or I'm going to have to say no to that event, or I'm going to have to say no to that activity. And I really make sure that I say no to what they're asking me to do and not just simply leave it with a no to them, because I'm not rejecting the person. I'm rejecting their request, their need, or whatever. Make sense? Thumbs up? Yes? Howdy do? Hope that helped. So yeah, getting over guilt of saying no. Just remember, you're rejecting the request, not the person. Next question was, how do I prevent negative thoughts when everything seems to be going well? So we're climbing that ladder, things are happening well, we're doing great in life, and all of a sudden those negative demons, that little gremlin starts playing in our head, and it gets louder and louder and louder. Well, I often say focus on the other side of what if. Those negative demons often sound like, what if you fail? What if people notice? What if this doesn't work out? What if? And it starts screaming at us that like, look, you've made it this far, but any minute now you could crash and burn. You're doing really great, but you're going downhill. People like you never succeed for long. And it starts sort of screaming, danger ahead, danger ahead. And we start to listen to it, and we start to believe in it. We start to focus in on it. And it's like that negative thought. We're in the momentum of, walking on stage to receive an award. And we're like, what if we trip and fall over, the carpet? Or what if we say the wrong thing? And all of a sudden, all of that distracts from the opportunity and the success we're having. Just switch the what if demon. So if it says, what if you fall? What if I don't? Well, what if you don't say the right thing? What if I do? What if people don't like you? What if they do like me? What if this is as good as you get? What if it is? Is that so bad? There's always two sides, but we choose to focus on the negative because we're programmed to protect ourselves, to avoid danger, to, watch out for the lion, tigers, and bears in the woods. And all of those things don't exist, but we give them the energy as if they're real and they're going to jump out from underneath the bed or from in the closet and get us. So I start to what if? And I'll hear it from my son often because he can get in that habit. And he's like, what if? And I'm like, what if they do? What if? And after about 4 of them, he's like, okay, I got it. Leave me alone. For every negative, there's a positive. It's just where are you going to put your energy and focus? And so, I realize sometimes life can sound really rough and beaten up and chasing us down and trying to make us fearful. But a lot of that fear is imaginary. A lot of that fear is self-created. A lot of that fear we drum up just to keep us company at night when we're staring at the ceiling. So switch the what ifs. Focus on the what if positives. All right? And then the last question I had for today, and remember, if you want to do a Q&A, you got to send me the Q so I can write up the A or have an A ready. So just send me a question. I kind of like doing it. I hope it's helpful and informative. We do this sort of in a longer format in the podcast or the newsletter or in the daily Facebook Lives. But the Q&As, I think, are just really short little snippet, walk away, handy tools. So that's why I love them. So the next one was overcoming nerves. So this one was around doing something new for the first time. They think they're all prepared. They've got it all together, but there's just that little bit of a butterfly nerve going on inside of them. And first off, congratulations for going into something new. Congratulations for stepping into something big, a larger audience, a bigger stage, standing in front of your corporate peers. All of that, congratulations. And yes, you will have butterflies. Even the greatest of performers get excited over that butterflies and that gut thing. It tells them that they're about to experience something from the first time. I'm sure if Meryl Streep is doing a stage reading, she's got butterflies. What she knows is she's got skills and she's got practice and she's got experience so she can do it, but she's never done it like this before. So she's excited about the opportunity to experience it new. So getting over the nerves. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you've done your homework. Make sure you've set it up so that you can be successful. Don't try and wing it and fling it because that's just stupid. I mean, I'll just tell you that's just foolishness. Somebody once said, why do I do these Facebook Lives every day? And I said, well, after 800 to 1,000 of them, if somebody asked me if I could do a 3 to 5 minute welcome introduction thing in front of a group of people, I'd be like, yeah, I think I could pull it off. I've done a couple. And I have some experience and some resources in my head. But the other thing is, get out of yourself. Often those nerves become like giant Mothra attacking demon dragons because we're focused on ourselves. It's like, well, what if I mess up? What if I don't look right? What if I don't say it right? How about it preparing instead of what is it I want them to have? What is it I want them to get? What is it I want them to experience? How can I make those things happen at the highest and best level? When I look at them during my speech, during my meeting, during my presentation, what is the experience I want to be having for them, with them, alongside of them? And so when I'm able to shift from thinking about me and thinking about them, it makes it easier. Often when I'm writing a speech or preparing a speech for a meeting or whatever I'm doing, I'll think, okay, I've got maybe 20 minutes of talk, but if we suddenly had the alarm go off and I was asked to condense it down to 3 minutes, what would be the 3 minutes worth that I really wanted them to have? What is the 3 minute, what is the bread and butter necessity that I want them to have? And I'm like, okay, Let me make sure I practice on delivering that well. Because in truth, people don't remember every single detail. But they remember where your energy rose. They remember where you really leaned in. They remember when you pulled out the best china and the best dish and you put it together in front of them. And so I'll say, okay, if they walk away with nothing else today from this meeting, from this speech, from this event, from this Facebook Live, from this podcast, from whatever, if they walk away with nothing else, what should it be? And I make sure that's the centerpiece. So that if I get distracted, if I get nervous, I get off track, if the alarm goes off, I know where I need to come back to. And then everything that I'm doing within that 20 minutes of being nervous, of being frightful, of being present with them is driven towards making sure that they get that thing. And I'm so focused on making sure that they get that thing, that idea, that I forget that I'm the deliverer. I forget that I'm somewhat present in it, and it pulls away from the nerves. And so, you'll hear actors talk about, I lost myself in the role. It's often because they are so driven on presenting that character, presenting that story, presenting that emotion, that they're out there pushing it so far forward that it sort of escapes them and they don't have to focus on them. And that's really what nerves are. It's where we're so focused on us and the opinions and judgment of other people, when in truth, if we're doing it because we love it, and we're doing it because we want to be of service, and we're doing it because we want to give, all of the focus should be on the message and on the people receiving it in some way. And so that's what I got for getting over nerves. That, and sometimes rushing to the bathroom 3 minutes before it all happens. I tell you, it's funny. I forgot what it was doing. See, that's the other thing about nerves. After you cross over the speed bump, you forget about them. But I remember I was just like dripping sweat off my shirt. It's like pouring down the back, but everything here was just like flat-faced. So yeah, that is the funny thing about nerves. Nerves never happen in hindsight, do they? It's like you can never turn back and go, oh man, I'm so nervous about what I did yesterday. No. So just get past it. You will get past it. You'll be fine. Be prepared, but also be present for what you want to create. All right, well, that was a Q&A Wednesday. Da-da-da-da. Or as Karnak would say, the answer is absolutely. Now you have to come up with a question. And the question might be, am I worthy? And the answer is, absolutely. Absolutely, you are worthy. I double dog dare you on a Wednesday to claim it. All right? I just double dog dare you. Claim it. Walk up to somebody today and say, I am worthy. And then don't explain it. Just claim it. All right. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow morning for another Success Life Live at 8 a.m. In the meantime, all the links and all the feeds are up above to subscribe and like and follow and do the things that you want to do. Excellent. You should be a stand-up comedian. No, we have Amy for that. Amy can do that. My life is a comedy routine. I don't need to make it go public. But thank you for the opportunity, Nellie. I will say no. If I was going to be a comedian, I've already gone from no to maybe. If I was, it would have to be more in the style of like, I don't know, an American humorist, Walt Whitman or something. Because I just see humor in life everywhere. And some people don't get my humor, and that's where it gets dangerous. Because I'll say something, I'm like, oh, you didn't see the humor in that? And they'll be like, no, kind of missed it. So anyhow, I digress, but I do it as I roll my R so it sounds more fancy. Anyhow, you guys go out and you have a fantastic day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.